Storybeans presents Luca and the Spilled Milk. Have you ever dropped something, broken something, or made a mistake and felt like it was the end of the world? This story is about a young Alpine cow who felt just like that until he learned a very important lesson. High in the Alps, where the mountains glistened with snow and the valleys rang with the sound of cowbells, there lived a young Alpine cow named Luca. Luca was a handsome calf with soft brown and white fur and big, curious eyes. But he had one problem. He was easily upset. If he tripped on a rock, he would huff. If he lost a game with his friends, he would sulk. And if something went really wrong, well, then Luca's tears would come quickly, just like a summer storm rolling through the valley. Luca wanted to be brave and calm, but he didn't quite know how. One golden morning, the herd was gathered by the mountain huts for milking. Farmers bustled about filling shiny buckets with fresh milk, while the cows munched happily on grass. Luca, who was growing bigger, had been given his first important task: to carry a pail of milk down the path to the farmer's house. His chest puffed with pride. "I can do this," he whispered to himself, gripping the handle between his teeth. Carefully, he stepped along the stony trail. But the path became steep. A marmot darted across the rocks. Luca startled, stumbled, and the pail tipped. Splash! The milk poured out, rushing like a white river down the stones. "Oh no!" cried Luca, staring at the empty bucket. His heart thudded. His eyes filled with tears. "I've ruined everything. The farmer will be angry. Everyone will laugh at me. I'm useless." Luca sat down right there on the mountain path and began to sob. Just then, a deep, rumbling voice carried over the breeze. Now, young one, what's this river of tears I see?" Luca blinked through his sniffles. "Who's there?" he whispered. Out from the trees stepped a tall, broad-shouldered Alpine cow with silvery horns and wise, dark eyes. His bell rang low and steady with each step. It was Matteo, the oldest cow in the valley. The herd often said that Matteo knew every secret of the mountains, the safest trails, the best grass, and the wisdom of ages. I spilled the milk," Luca stammered. "It's all gone. I'm a failure." Matteo looked at the puddle of milk, then at Luca. "Ah, yes, the milk is gone indeed. But tell me, calf, will crying put it back in the pail?" Luca sniffed. "No." "Then what can crying do?" Matteo asked gently. It just makes my eyes sore," Luca admitted, lowering his head. Matteo chuckled, his deep laugh echoing off the cliffs. "Exactly, my dear Luca. There's an old saying. It's no use crying over spilled milk. What's done is done. The milk cannot flow uphill back into the bucket, but you, young one, can learn to walk again. You can carry another pail tomorrow." Luca shuffled his hooves. "But what if I fail again?" "Then you will try again," said Matteo firmly. "Confidence grows not from being perfect, but from rising after we stumble." The next day, Matteo found Luca sitting in the meadow. The young calf was staring gloomily into the distance, still holding his empty milk bucket and thinking about the milk that he had spilled. "Come," said Matteo, "walk with me." Together they climbed higher into the Alps. The air grew crisp, and bells from distant herds rang like music. Matteo led Luca to a clearing where a small waterfall led onto a tiny stream that trickled between rocks. "Look at the water," said Matteo. Luca watched as the stream slipped over the stones, rushing forward no matter what lay in its path. "Does the water stop when it meets a rock?" asked Matteo. "No," Luca said slowly. "It just flows around it." "Exactly. Be like the stream, Luca. Life will place rocks before you. Spilled milk, mistakes, disappointments. Do not stop and cry until your eyes ache. Flow around the trouble and keep going forward." Luca nodded, though doubt still tugged at him. Not long after, a festival came to the Alpine village. Farmers prepared cheese wheels and butter, children dressed in bright clothes, and the cows were decorated with flower garlands. Luca wanted to be part of it, but he remembered the spilled milk. As the preparations bustled, the farmer once again filled a pail. "Luca," he said kindly, "would you like to try carrying the milk again? It's time you learned." Luca's legs trembled. He looked at Matteo, who stood watching nearby. The elder cow nodded once, slow and steady, his bell chiming with encouragement. Taking a deep breath, Luca gripped the handle. Step by step, he began down the path. The stones seemed to wink at him, daring him to stumble. Halfway down, a gust of wind blew, and Luca wobbled. His heart raced. "I can't do it," he gasped. "Yes, you can," Matteo's words echoed in his head. "Flow like the stream, Luca. Keep moving." Luca steadied himself. "Don't look back," he whispered. "Don't cry. Just flow." Step by careful step, he reached the farmhouse. When he set the pail down, not a single drop had spilled. The farmer clapped his hands. "Well done, Luca!" Luca's chest swelled with pride. For the first time, he felt strong, not because he had been perfect, but because he had tried again. That evening, as the sun painted the mountains in gold and pink, Luca sat beside Matteo in the meadow. "I did it," he said softly. "But what if I spill again tomorrow?" Matteo smiled. "Then you will clean it up, fetch more milk, and try again. Spilled milk is only a moment. Your courage is what lasts." Luca thought about this. The proverb rolled in his mind like the sound of cowbells. It's no use crying over spilled milk. Maybe mistakes weren't the end of the world. Maybe they were stepping stones, like rocks in the stream. That night, as stars sparkled above the Alps, Luca drifted to sleep with a new feeling in his heart. Not fear, not tears, but confidence, warm and steady, like the low ring of an Alpine cow's bell. Thank you for watching Story Beans. See you next time.